am Salwa.
I am Alia.
I am Shah.
And I am Liana.
So today, we're gonna learn about social networks and privacy issues in e-commerce. First of all, did you know what is social network? Social networks involve a group of people share social interaction, common ties among members, and people who share an area for some period of time. Social networks do not necessarily have shared goals, purposes, or intentions. Indeed, they can be places where people just hang out, share space, and communicate. There are many social media platforms provided for users such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and many more. Now that you already understand about social networks, let's learn about what is privacy. Privacy is the moral right of individuals to be left alone, free from surveillance or interference from other individuals or organizations, including the state. Information privacy has 4 central premises. In order to protect information privacy, the US Federal Trade Commission had developed a guideline that represents widely accepted concepts concerning fair information practice in electronic market space. First is notice. Business must disclose their information practices before collecting data, which includes this information. Second is choice or consent. Choice or consent is meant by giving consumers options to control how their data is used. Consumers are able to choose whether they want to opt in or opt out. Next is access and participation. Consumers should be able to review and contest the accuracy and completeness of data collected about them in a timely manner. Fourth is security. Data collectors must take reasonable steps to ensure that consumer information is accurate and secure from unauthorized use. And last one is enforcement. There must be a mechanism to enforce these principles in place. This can involve self-regulation, legal remedies, or federal statutes. According to MCMC, these are the top social networks in Malaysia by the year of 2018. Now, let us move on to our main topic, which is social network and privacy issues. There are many common security threats in the e-commerce environment, such as malicious code, hacking, phishing, data breach, and many more. Each of these threats will be explained.
Viruses, worms, trojans, and bots are all part of a class of software called malware. The overwhelming majority of malware is created to make money illegally, often by stealing sensitive and confidential information from victims' computers and mobile devices. Malware can also be used for cyber vandalism, cyber espionage, hacktivism, cyber warfare, and various other reasons. Malware can make entry onto your computer via questionable file downloads, visiting infected websites, or through email containing a seemingly benign link or attachment.
While checking your email, you receive an alarming message from your bank.
It says that your account might be jeopardized and provides a link to enter in your private information. Even though the logos and contact information appear to be correct, this email wasn't from your bank, but instead it was sent by cybercriminals looking to phish you. Phishing is when scammers trick you into divulging personal and financial information by pretending to be a legitimate source. Just like fishermen cast lines with bait attached, these scammers send out official-sounding emails, hoping that you will let your guard down. They often build entire pages and logins dedicated to looking like authentic banks or businesses, designed to get you to gain your trust and lower your guard. Even more alarming, phishers can even pose as your friends and family to trick you. In some cases, a phishing email can install malware on your computer without you even entering your username and password. Regardless of how they obtain it, once cybercriminals have your login information, they can change your passwords, steal your money, and even your identity. There are many ways to identify a possible phishing email. No legitimate bank, government agency, or business would send you an email requesting that you re-enter your private information. Misspellings, poor grammar, and typos are also good indicators of a phishing email. If you receive a phishing email, the best thing to do is just ignore it and mark it as spam. You can also use anti-spam filters as a way to avoid these emails entirely. You should always be on guard when opening up unknown emails. And make sure you have the latest internet security and email protection software on your computer to avoid phishing scams entirely. Your personal information is spread across many websites throughout the internet. From online banking, credit reports, e-commerce, tax returns, and healthcare accounts, your personal information may be at risk of loss or theft. Most businesses and organizations that you transact with have elaborate security programs to protect your personal information. But this doesn't stop cybercriminals from trying to steal your data. Due to vulnerabilities in software, these cybercriminals can infiltrate and steal not only your data, but potentially thousands of other people's information too. Data breaches and data theft affect millions of people around the world and is on the rise. Many companies have suffered a massive data breach, leading to layoffs, lawsuits, and fraud. Once these cybercriminals have your personal information, they can completely drain your bank account of its funds. A data breach can also result in identity theft, allowing someone else to use credit cards with your name, potentially damaging your credit history. In some cases, data breaches can result in blackmail if the victim was a member of a questionable site or has information they don't want made public. Individual users may be targeted with specifically designed malware that can delete or steal information off of a personal computer. While data breaches can severely impact individuals, businesses and government organizations are usually at a larger risk. Even employees can steal and sell personal information to third parties who use it for criminal purposes. Protect yourself against data breaches by changing your passwords often and using a password manager that generates secure passwords, such as Kaspersky Password Manager. Ensure that any sensitive information that is kept in cloud is well protected and encrypted with the latest security software. Finally, make regular backups of important data on a separate system, such as an external hard drive or cloud, to minimize the risk of losing vital information if a data breach does occur.
Facebook is becoming the most popular social media in Malaysia. This has raised some ethical, social, and political issues. Facebook have been affected by data breach issues whereby more than 500 million records about Facebook users were exposed on Amazon's cloud computing service. This case that happened in Facebook had affected both consumers and business. Usually, consumers who go for online shopping will tend to share their personal information such as name, address, and phone number in social network. When data breach happen, consumers will lose their trust on the online business and on the social media platform that they have used. Secondly, data breach will also affect the business in e-commerce in terms of intellectual property right issues such as trademarks and trade design. Significant revenue loss as a result of security breach is common. Consumers tend to switch to another social media platform in order to purchase the product. Data breach can impact much more than just your short-term revenue. The long-term reputation of your brand is at stake as well. It will damage the brand reputation and customers will be hesitated to trust your business. Next, losing intellectual property can impact the competitiveness of your business. Rivals will not hesitate to take advantage of stolen information. Some hackers fancy themselves as pranksters. In these cases, data breach might only lead to few word changes on your website. With regards of data breach issues, there is always an action that can be taken into consider. An act can help to protect the consumer as well as the business. On international level, International Consumer Protect and Enforcement Network is imposed to ensure exchange of information participants for mutual benefit and understanding. In Malaysia, the Personal Data Protection Act 2010 is an act that regulates the processing of personal data in regards to commercial transaction. This helps to prevent business from disseminate customers' personal information to the third party. To protect business, Trademark Act 1976 is imposed to protect the business goods and services from being stolen to the other parties. That's all from us. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you and adios!